It's just a random opinion. It's not really news. Stop stating it as fact now. It's only some stranger's views. Now I'm not saying that it ain't nothing. I'm just saying it needs to be more. Give it some substance, make me listen. It's relevant or I'm out the door. Social media can't be a source. That electronic chatter, it's growing hoarse. Find someone newsy to center in on. Improve your production or move it on.
Hi y'all, Joe for here, the cranky old gay guy. And today we are going to talk about online crap sites like Reddit being treated as real news or real important on talk shows, news programs, talking head hosts, and how that makes me really cranky. Let's go back in time a bit. First of all, I don't I've seen this on national news shows in the morning as well. They will take comments from online from viewers, but it's not the viewer's name. It's like Sniffy Bunny 406 says, I like what she's wearing, or I think Donald Trump's the best. And it's like, it really lessens the stature of the program. I was watching The View. Well, I was watching. I watch it off and on a lot. Um, because I can have it playing in the background. Because I like Joy Behar. That's pretty much what it is. So when she's gone, I don't know what's going to happen with the show. And she is in her 80s, and rumor has it that she wants to step down, but who's to say? Anyway, that show has become a joke in that it's all about pushing product. It's not news. They'll have 3 or 4 minutes of a political discussion or disagreement or story. And then they bring on someone who's selling their book or in a new TV show, or they come back from 5 minutes of commercials and Whoopi will pose a question to the rest of the panel, as in, Jennifer on Reddit says, I caught my husband texting a woman. He says it's just a friend from work, but should I trust him? And then the women will all have their different opinions and go on and on about it to eat up this 4 minute segment. And then they go back to 5 minutes of commercials just to come back to do a View Your Deal segment, which is a 7 minute infomercial for these junk products that I won't talk about who represents them because it's a different person, but oftentimes it's this guy that he presents Oprah's weekly, daily wish list or whatever, and it's products that no one really needs, and we're giving them to the viewer as a deep discount. Well, why is it such a deep discount? Well, because they're so overpriced to begin with, they're still making a crap load of money from you. Um, so that is a show that will waste time. They could be, giving out real information or talking about something important, but instead they talk about a segment from Reddit or a question from Reddit. And the same thing happens in entertainment shows as well as news programs. There was a show back several years ago, and it was on E, and Ross Matthews was the host. It was the Ross Matt. Boy, I don't know why I can't say it. It is the Ross Matthews show. Anyway, it was supposed to be young and hip and to appeal to, millennials and younger. And the show was crap, is what it was. It was very formulaic, and he would get on, he would say something stupid or quippy, and the audience would laugh. They had like audience in the round. It was bad. And him and his guest would be sitting on chairs in the middle on this rounded stage. And they would show something on a screen because they're talking about what J-Lo wore to some awards show. And they give their criticism of it. And as if this is real news. It's all about gossip and innuendo, and it's not important in anyone's life. And I like Ross Matthews as a comedian. I tune in to hear something funny. Instead, I get this schlop, and then he reads from his little card and he goes, oh, and Twain 446 zebra dust, and they show a avatar or the actual person on screen who is FaceTiming in or zooming in or however they're doing this, who says, I think she needs more bangles, or I think she's smoking, or I don't think I like that dress, as if that's important. I know they're getting engagement from the viewer, but the show didn't even last a season, thank God. It was terrible. And one of the reasons it didn't last is because they brought in crap like that that means so little to anybody watching the show. And I have seen them do this on morning news programs where they want engagement. So, hey everybody, send in your response and we'll get back to you if we select you and we'll put you on air. Well, why does someone sitting in Duluth, Minnesota, watching the morning news, care what Robin Redbreast 662 on Twitter has to say about anything? Well, I ask you, why would they care? Why would I care? Why would any viewer other than Robin Redbreast 662 and from Twitter, that's pretty much the only person that's going to care about their opinion. And it's usually on a national subject. And since they're unidentified and they're anonymous people, how do we know that the producer isn't just backstage making crap up? We don't. And I don't trust the show to really be honest. There's no reason for me not to think that's really Robin Redbreast, whatever from Twitter. But why should we care? And this is what's got me cranky. You bring down the quality of a program if you don't identify the source. And people don't have to be named, but show their picture or put them actually on the air to talk. And forget these hokey XYZ66777 IDs from online because they mean absolutely nothing to anyone watching the show. And it sounds like an adult program is interacting with, I don't know, children playing on Twitch. And yeah, some of these middle-aged talking heads on these programs have mentioned, oh, I watch Twitch streams all the time. No, you don't. Who watches Twitch streams? Gamers, those addicted to games, video games, usually 30 and under, because if you're older than that, you really weren't exposed to those as a young kid, so you didn't get hooked on them. And who else watches them? Kids in grade school. They watch to see who's the best because that's their little niche at school, and they're going to talk about who's the best, and I'm going to be the best. And oh, have you got the latest version of, I don't know, Dungeons and Dips? Yeah. So please, particularly news programs or programs that are geared towards adults and you want to be taken seriously, quit taking segments offline from unidentified people. We don't know who they are. We don't know why we should even care about their opinion, and working those into a story as if they're important or it's a real news issue. So Bob in Spokane, let's say that's a handle, says that the pumpkins are extra large this year. Okay, and that's the statement, and then they'll talk about it for 5 minutes. There's no real news you can talk about for 5 minutes. The internet has changed everything, and I'm happy to have it. I find it very entertaining and educational. However, for news sources or serious programming, and by the way, my channel is not a serious program. I realize that. Don't use the latest thing trying to get viewers. Because the latest thing, I mean, the latest thing is, well, what are the kids doing these days? That's who we need to bring in. Well, if you're going to bring in kids online, why don't you just bring in a couple kids and let them be the talking heads and host the program? You want a younger audience? There you have it. And guess what? You can pay them a lot less than the millions of dollars you're paying those people on the national networks. It's just my 2 cents. And the kid would have to get at least a minimum wage. And it's a union job, so the kid would have to join probably AFTRA, um, which is, I don't know what the dues are now, $1,700 or something, initial startup. Um, but, make sure that the dues are covered and the kid makes at least the minimum wage. And then also make sure that that money goes into an educational account for the kid with a percentage going to the parents as their management. That way the kid is protected. You don't want a Gary Coleman situation where the parents ended up taking everything. Or a Macaulay Culkin situation where he had to divorce his parents and become emancipated because he was not getting the majority of his money. It was being used up by someone else. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I hope all of you have a wonderful hump day. So if you can get out there and get humping, more power to you. I will see you all tomorrow on Thursday. And Thursday evening, I am going to a Liberace Liza tribute show where Liza Minnelli will sing the tunes and Liberace will play the keys. And I believe Lorna Luft's going to make an appearance. And this is a live show with people. So I'll tell you a little bit about that on Friday or Saturday. But that's what I'm doing tomorrow night. I'm going to forego Balls Out Pool, which is the naked pool night, which is going to be crowded tomorrow too, because it's the first Thursday of the month. And that is when the Oregon Men Enjoying Naturism, which is a gay men's natural nudist group, that's when they meet there, is on Mondays, or excuse me, on the first Thursdays of that month. I am not a part of that group. I've never been a part of that group, but I know quite a few people in that group. And that's when they get there, so they fill up half the bar. It's going to be a crowded night. I am most likely not going to be there. I don't think my show is going to let out until 9:30 or 10, and I doubt I'm going to drive over to North Portland to do nude night when it's that late, because there's already 22 people signed up at the table, so I wouldn't get a chance to play for an hour or two. And, you've seen one naked body. You've seen a lot of naked bodies. And I've seen all those people nude before, so there's really no draw there. And I've been running around naked around here, so I'm kind of getting that out of my system this week. Yeah, that's about it. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good Wednesday night. Ciao.
It's just a random opinion. It's just a random opinion. It's just a random opinion. It's not really news. Stop stating it as fact now. It's only some stranger's views. Now I'm not saying that it ain't nothing. I'm just saying it needs to be more. Give it some substance, make me listen. It's relevant or I'm out the door. Social media can't be your source. That electronic chatter is growing hoarse. Find someone newsy to center it on. Improve your production or move it on.